This is a video I took of my ex-girlfriend, and just to show you what I expect in a relationship. Boom, huge. Only took me 2 dates to train her how to get to this point. All right, this is my apartment. I'm like, yeah, laundry, ready to go, attentive. See, look, the scampering, that's good. Got the beer ready, got the noodles ready, got the up on the tomatoes. Just whole tomatoes. What the? But that's good. Stirring the noodles. One more time. Let's hit the plate from the beginning. Check the bow. Hold on. Boom. Huge bow.
I'm still pretty upset about this noodle mixing thing. I've told you before that this is distressing for me. So when I'm kicking back in front of the television and my wife brings me a meal, I expect the noodles, if there are noodles, and there rarely are, to be I don't want to see her mixing anything or making anything. I expect it to be pre-mixed and already ready. So basically, when it's in front of me, plus I need to, right? I need to be like, it's too hot. Why the fuck? Why would you give it to me when it's this hot, right? I need the factor also, but isn't it supposed to be pre-stirred, Brian?
Yeah, up.
That's why she's your ex.
I dumped her actually after I took that video. It's like, how could you up this video I'm taking? Yeah, I dumped her though. It was good while it lasted, but. Look,
it's okay. You can have her. You can have her forever now.
And but she did good. She tried her best, but I am. Look, I'm spoiled. I got spoiled.
She did. Well, okay. She did okay.
She did all right. Look, I'm easy to please. Look, I'm very low maintenance.
It's just a bow and a soda and some noodles, man. How far could it be?
Yeah, simple. Now, Andrew, you said all that shit in that video, though. That's the baseline. You said, well, hold on. Wait until, I think this, I'll paraphrase it a little bit. Wait until you get into an argument with a woman. Shit. I'll just have you say. Go ahead, Andrew.
I don't know what you're alluding to here.
Well, you were like, it was about being submissive. And it was something like, yeah, it's easy, but wait until you get into an argument with your girl and wait. How does it go? Do you know what I'm talking about, Andrew?
I don't know exactly what you're referencing.
Or maybe it was...
You're referencing submission, then kind of my idea behind submission is that modern women are against it. They kind of will pretend that they're for submitting, but they actually think that they're supposed to be leaders and men are... They're going to submit to you, in other words, if you're worthy of submission, whatever that means, and generally it's going to just be a deference back to them. So... It's this kind of leader-followership dynamic, or leader-follower dynamic that works this way. You can lead and I will follow as long as you do everything that I say.
Oh.
And you can lead me.
There's this great thing from The Office that we've played before. Hold on, I'm going to try to find it and we can react to it. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. So my chat reminded me. This is in regards to a fight. So wait until there's a fight. You're both going at it, right? And, she's pissed at you. The next day, the whole day she's pissed at you. Will she still bow at the door and make the noodles? That's the key in, right? The key in isn't whether or not, everything is great and it's fantastic. And he bought me the nice dress that I love, and everything is perfect. But when it's not perfect, when it's not great, do you still have dinner on the table, served up that way? That's the tell.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I agree.
I got a video on this.
I got away.
Let's go to the video tab. All right, good.
I got away with everything under the last boss, and it wasn't good for me at all. So I want guidance. I want leadership. But don't just boss me around, lead me. Lead me when I'm in the mood to be led.
That's women, bro.
Well, maybe I can ask the panel this. It's kind of a paradox. So first and foremost, I would just kind of concede that probably most women, if they agree with the idea of submission, only agree with it from a religious purview. So I'll just kind of grant that that's true. But the idea here is just this. If you are to obey and you are the servant of the relationship and the man is the leader, if you question how he serves as the leader, how are you not the leader? That's the question. It kind of becomes this paradox. So starting with Savannah, right? Because I haven't picked on you nearly enough tonight, and I've been really trying to up my game on picking on you a little bit here. So would you, for the right man, submit to the man?
Submit like how? Like do anything for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I would, 100%.
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
What if you had disagreements with how he led you and led your family?
Like, what do you mean? Like, what did he do to my family?
Well, he doesn't do anything. You just have disagreement. Like, for instance, let's give you an easy one. You're a stay-at-home mom. There's a school which is very close, but he wants the kids to go to a school which is much further away. This does not, from your purview, track in your relationship. You don't want to drive the additional hour to drop the kids off at the school. He insists that you must. And he doesn't want to hear it. Your objections, they're noted, but he doesn't give a You need to take those kids because he says so.
Is it a special school? Like, is it a Christian school or what?
Not a special school. You think that the other school is better, in fact. You think the one closer is even better. He disagrees.
I feel like there would probably be an argument there.
Yeah, there's an argument, but he says, I'm not going to argue. I just don't care what you think on this particular topic.
Well,
I want those kids to go to that school.
If I'm a stay-at-home mom, and if I don't really have too much going on, then I wouldn't mind driving. The
Yeah,
further
but
difference.
he's dismissing the entirety of your opinion. He doesn't care that it doesn't work. You think, this just doesn't fit with my schedule perfectly. But if they were just at this closer school, it would. And he gives you no justification. He doesn't give you a reason. He says, I'm not going to give you a reason, and I don't care about your objections. That's the school they're going to. Are they going to that school?
I wouldn't want to be with somebody like that. I wouldn't.
Right. That's fair. Okay.
Like,
so then moving to Gabby.
So he's my husband?
Yeah.
I'm gonna obey.
Okay. Moving to Maddie.
I wouldn't be married to someone.
Oh,
right.
One sec.
GMD Jim donated $100.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
To form a vegan. Murder is the premeditated killing of one human being by another, not an animal. Knowing this, I assume that you are outraged by doing so to a child in the womb.
By the way, TTS has been lowered to 100. Do you want to respond to that?
No.
By the way,
Oh,
Jim,
you gotta
long-time supporter of the Whatever podcast. Thank you for the super chat, man.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
I see a lot of his supers come through.
Yeah, he's been supporting a lot recently, so I got to hit him with the
He's a brave and a decent man. He's a pioneer.
A pioneer.
pioneer.
So Maddie wouldn't be married to a guy like that. Kendra?
No.
Can you say the question again?
So we'll start with the base. Would you submit to a man?
Sure.
Okay. So the idea here is that your husband says to you, you're the stay-at-home mom, right? There's a school which is close. You think that the school which is close to you is better and it's more convenient for you to take the kids to that school. The man says, okay, but I want you to take these kids to the school which is an hour away, which is highly inconvenient for you in your schedule. And he says, I'm going to give you zero justification. You just need to do it.
I mean, I would hope my only reason wouldn't be just convenience for the school. I would hope that I know where I would be sending my kids.
No, you think it's better. You think it's better than the other one, for sure.
Like educationally?
Sure. You think educationally and everything else, you think it's better.
I mean, I would just ask him to give me a reason.
Yeah, I know, but he says no. I'm not going to give you a single justification. I don't need to. You need to obey.
I'm going to say you do need to give me a reason because it's my child
Right.
too.
Okay, right. So then moving over to Emma.
I would not obey. It'd be a very,
You would not obey. Okay, hang on. Fair enough.
Wait,
Alex?
it would be it would be what?
a very serious conversation about the relationship.
Okay.
Okay. Alex?
So I wouldn't blindly obey like that.
Right. Okay. And then moving over to Turkish.
Can I be honest? I think I'm more of the dominant type, but I think for the right person, I'm willing to come to an agreement, a communication. Like we discuss. I'm very like communication.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He just, in this case, his foot's down. He doesn't want the kids to go to that one. He wants to go to the other one, and he's going to give you no justification. And that's the end of the argument. That's the end of it. They're going to that school, and that's the end of it.
Low-key, I think if I'm actually really in love, I just listen to him. Like when I love someone, I'm like, if that's gonna make you happy, I guess, yeah,
Okay.
for the right man.
I'm glad she added that.
So you see why in modernity, when women say submission, that they'd be willing to submit, I actually don't believe them. I don't actually believe them. I don't.
Can I explain?
I think that it's submission with qualifiers. It's submission with, if you're doing the things I think you should be doing, then I'll submit. I don't really believe that modern women will submit to modern men, even if they have all the faith in the world in him. That if they kind of put the ultimatum up where the woman says, "Wait, I just don't like this," and they say, "Okay, I don't care," and that's the end of it. They seem to become very, very, very upset by that, and that is not submission from my perspective.
Well, it takes away their agency completely, and I mean, it kind of belittles them as a person.
So,
Fair.
But if he's your husband, I imagine that you thought it through before you married him. So you know,
Yes.
like, hey, if he's going to make the calls, I trust him.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you still have to agree on kind of
Why?
the reason.
why do you
He's
have
the
to do
leader.
why? So
No,
this is my whole thing, right? It's like, why, if this person is the leader, like imagine for a second that the general goes, "We're going to war, and here's what's going to happen." His second in command is like, "Can you tell me why we should do this?" And he's like, "'Cause I said we're doing it. That's why we're doing it." Wouldn't that guy get like put up for disobedience, and he would, maybe perhaps even be flogged for disobedience, right? But it's like, for some reason,
Atlas All Resources _ 33,413 donated $100. Married my husband when I was 19, he 25. Both military vets. A unit needs a leader. My husband is my leader. If we disagree, yes, I serve him dinner. Now 20 years later, still married.
Atlas, thank you very much.
And
for
God
the TTS.
bless you, Atlas sources, right? Because there's very few of you who are around anymore. But kind of back to this, like, so what? So what if you disagree? So what if he says, "Look, on this particular issue, I just don't give a what you think. I just don't care. And you need to just kind of obey what I'm saying." That's not going to work for you, right? Alex?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it wouldn't work because if we are actually going to, I would like to know the reasoning behind it. That's really it.
You know what's funny? I don't even care from the secularist atheist perspective. I don't even care that they say that's not going to work and we need to be in endless dialogue and you need to comfort me and you need to make, you need to justify every decision. I don't even care, right? I think that that's fine. But I don't really understand it from the Christian worldview. That's the thing I've always tangled with Christian women, is why they think that's okay. Or why Muslim women would think it's okay. Or why, you know what I mean? Like, their doctrines are very clear that it's not okay. I guess that's where I always come at it from.
Yeah, so not my argument. But you ladies take it away. No? Okay.
I mean, even Andrew, even if you don't take it that far, even if as the man you're more...
Yeah, but okay, I'm already mad at you though, man, because when you say that far, right, it kind of implies that this is going overboard, and I don't think it's going overboard. I think that this is less kind of like a less of an ask than about. I think it's less of an ask and about if you say, I submit to you and I love you. And you say, okay, great, then obey me on this thing because it's important to me and don't ask me a bunch of questions about it. I think it's less of an ask to ask that, and she goes, okay.
To be fair, though, I do agree with that specific aspect in the terms when both people have very similar views.
Well,
so it's like if they, in general, have, very similar views, like I'm sure you and your wife do.
I'm not sure. I think as much as me and my wife, it's very interesting. People will say me and my wife almost seem like we're one person, right? They can't figure out where my views end and hers begin. We actually disagree on quite a bit. And I think that many people end up marrying people who disagree with them on quite a bit when it comes to various aspects of things which they consider to be practical or pragmatic or how they want it done or, this type of thing. And it's like, who's the threshold breaker here? And always from kind of the secular woman's perspective, it's, well, we're just going to argue incessantly until we come to an agreement, even though we all know in reality that's not possible. That there's some disagreements that men and women will have in a relationship. They're not going to find they're not going to find that common ground. They're going to disagree to the point where that is not found. And so it's like somebody has to be deferred to here.
Yep.
The point I was going to make is, and when I said that far, I think what I'm saying is if you were to poll most modern men and modern women, whether it's through indoctrination, brainwashing, what's the term for it? The cultural zeitgeist. I think they would say that it's too far. I don't think you think it's too far, Andrew. That's not even necessarily the point I'm trying to make. What I am trying to say, though, even if we don't take it that far, and it's sort of more of just a sort of general leadership, and if the man is willing to receive input and have prolonged conversations with his girlfriend or wife about perhaps a decision when it comes to the household or the children, even if he's willing to have these prolonged back and forth negotiations and conversations, there is this sort of trend that I've noticed that in general, it seems like women really like male leadership. They're attracted to it. They want a man who's a leader, but they are just not prepared to be followers. And that you cannot have a leader without somebody who's willing to be a follower. Both of you can't be leaders. Only one person can be a leader. Nothing gets done in a democracy. Nothing gets done by committee. So I just see these women, it's like almost on a biological evolutionary level, they're attracted to men who are dominant masculine leaders. But like in the programming, they fight against it and don't want to be followers. So I want a leader, but I don't want to follow. I'm attracted to this, but I'm also going to question and be quarrelsome and not let you lead, but I'm attracted to it, but I'm still not going to let you lead, but I'm attracted to it. Does that make sense?
And Andrew, there goes an actual nature versus nurture argument. Because the natural aspect is they are attracted to it. But you have feminism, we have a culture like in the West that tells women that they don't have to listen to men, that they don't have to do certain things in relationships, and then it's reinforced all throughout the media, social media.
Well, let me argue with you a little bit here, Q.
Yeah.
And ask you, if it's a nature versus nurture argument, how do you know that the nature isn't just to be rebellious?
Because men are naturally attracted to agreeable women, and agreeable women are typically the ones who have the better relationships.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that in modernity.
Yeah,
it seems like in modernity, that most women are quarrelsome and men are still endlessly pursuing them.
Yeah, in the West, in the West, because it's been infiltrated by feminist values and principles.
Yeah, but isn't feminism just another extension of evolution? So didn't we evolve to be feminists? Just like all social structures are part of evolution as part of the selective process, right?
Possibly. But it isn't.
I've always found this to be a massive hole in the argument from the evolutionary purview.
Yeah,
so
but
if the argument is, but feminism has indoctrinated women into being quarrelsome, then you're actually saying that men in the West have evolved to follow feminism, and so have women, because that would be the natural order of selection, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that, but it's bigger than the West. So when I say that in general, I mean there's still agreeable women in other cultures. There's still women who subscribe to listening to their men and being submissive in other cultures. So of course we have what I would call an anomaly here in the West, and evolution.
But feminism's winning.
Huh?
Even in other cultures, feminism's winning.
You think so?
Yeah, name a culture it's not winning in.
The cultures that it's not prevalent in.
Where?
Such as
Where
the
are
Middle
those?
East. Such as the Middle East.
No, it's winning all over the Middle East. It's winning in Iran, where transgenderism's allowed.
It's not winning in Afghanistan.
It's winning in Afghanistan, where it's been liberated by the West. It's winning everywhere in the Middle East. In fact, the number one complaint I hear from Muslims is that feminism has not stopped at the West, but is now going through the Middle East like crazy, and they're doing everything they can to kind of push back against it, but they're still having to face off with it.
Well,
so the question
when you
then
say
becomes, like, is this the natural evolutionary order?
Well, when you say, it's not necessarily the evolutionary order. It's more of a fact that we just like agreeable women, and agreeable women, the more agreeable a woman is, the more likely the relationship is to work. So it's not a black and white thing. It's a gray area. So it's a gradation in terms of what relationships may function better than other relationships based on the level of agreeableness in the women that's in those relationships. When you speaking about it, you're making it more like a black and white thing. And evolution isn't necessarily about what's best. It's just about what's most adaptable. So if the West is indeed feminist, if feminism is
they've adapted to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I'm saying,
but if they've adapted to it, then that would be part of their evolutionary cycle.
But then that would just mean that we would ultimately end up just becoming a feminist society.
We have become a feminist society.
I'm saying the argument you're making is more so from a moralistic perspective, and I'm saying evolution.
Well, I don't believe in evolution. I don't even think it's a thing, right? It's nonsensical to me because of natural selection being the mechanism. But
that's not
I'm
the only
to argue within the evolution.
Yeah, that's not the only mechanism of evolution. There's more than that. It's not natural selection that would be the strong.
Without natural selection, evolution doesn't work.
Yes, it does, because of genetic drift and genetic
Explain
mutations.
How it would work. That's all natural selection. Genetics.
No,
is natural
it's
selection.
not. No, it's not, Andrew.
How is it? It's unnatural selection.
No, it's not, because random mutations happen just randomly within populations.
That would be natural.
That's not selection.
That is selection.
It's only selection.
It's selecting for the mutated gene.
It's selecting for the mutated gene, but you have to mate in order to pass it on.
Yeah, but if you're mating and passing on the mutated genes, then that's natural. Therefore, it's natural selection.
No.
How? What do you mean no? How could it not be?
I just told you, if it's not being selected for sexually, then it's not natural selection.
Yeah, but if people with these mutated genes are having sex and the mutated genes are continuing, then that would be natural selection.
Yes,
you ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
But things happen. Genes get eliminated. Genes are not selected for, so it's just kind of a random thing.
Yeah, but that's all natural selection again.
That's one mechanism. That's one mechanism of like
selection.
Six.
Is the key component to evolution, the gradual change of an entirety of a species over time. That is evolution.
Combined with
you can have microevolution as well. I understand that as well. But the gradual progression of an entire species over time is the mechanism for this has to be natural. So it can't be anything else. What else could it be?
No, you're just choosing to clump them together. They're separate mechanisms. Genetic drift
what is the other mechanism?
Genetic drift is its own mechanism. Genetic mutations are their own mechanism.
How do those spread?
Natural selection are their own mechanisms.
How do those mutations spread?
In response to the environment.
Okay, so in response to the environment, those mutations spread, and then when you have sexual intercourse with somebody, that mutation continues.
Yes, but you added the sexual selection.
Correct?
You added the sexual selection.
But now it's been selected for.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
Yes,
that's natural selection. Now it's been selected for.
Yeah, if you say that, but that's not always the case. That's you.
I'm not saying it's always the case, but if it's not the case, that's also natural selection.
No.
So if they don't have sex, if there's no sex and the gene dies, that has been selected out. If they do have sex and the gene is there, then that has been selected in, right?
No, that's not the only way. I keep telling you that. You keep saying the same thing, and I'm telling you that's not the only way. That's not the only way it works. It doesn't have to be selected
I'm pretty sure that's the only way it can work.
No, it's not.
Otherwise, how does the gene continue if it's not selected for?
You don't know the way.
What?
Because, as I said, genetic mutations and genetic drifts, they're not always selected for, but they become a part of evolution just because they're mechanisms that happen randomly by chance. Natural selection is its own mechanism. If it was the same thing as those, they wouldn't be considered different mechanisms. It would be called natural selection. It wouldn't be called genetic drift or genetic mutation.
I don't actually understand this argument, and maybe you can help me bridge the gap here. Let us assume that there's a mutation which occurs inside of a species, which is very small, right? This is a random mutation which happens, right? Now, if this mutation, if nobody with the mutation breeds, you agree with me that this gene is selected out, correct? Or this mutation is selected now out, right?
Possibly.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't understand. How could it be selected in if the genes which cause the mutation do not pass genetically to the next generation? How?
Because genes are also affected in utero by the environment. So a woman can be pregnant, or an animal can be pregnant, and a whole new gene happens. There's a gene modification within the DNA.
I agree. But let's say that mutation happens, and then there's no more reproduction past that. What happens to that gene?
Depends on the gene, honestly.
No. How could a gene?
Wait. Hold up. Because there's pseudogenes. There's genes that exist that we still have that don't even work for what they were selected for. So it just could become an inactive gene.
Yeah, but those genes couldn't exist absent the reproduction
or mutation.
The mutation could not spread absent reproduction.
Yes,
so
it
if you have a
can.
mutation
Yes, it can.
So you're saying that an entire species can have a random mutation happen to the entirety of the species?
But look, that's okay. Here's where
I'm asking you directly: can a species have a random mutation absent reproduction, which happens to the entire species?
No, because it's a gradual.
No. Yeah, because
wait.
It's absurd.
Because
it's absurd.
Because it's a gradual. Because it's a gradual process. It wouldn't happen like that. It wouldn't happen.
Right, exactly. Because it's being selected for or not selected for.
It would be random. It would just be random. It would occur randomly. It wouldn't happen in a specific population like that. Just suddenly. It would be over. It would be over millions of years.
And selected for, and without reproduction, it could not be selected for, and therefore it could not continue. There's no way around that. Absent reproduction, the gene dies. There's no fucking way around that.
Yes,
I don't care if it's a plant. I don't care if it's an ant.
Yes,
I don't care what it is. How does the gene reproduce? How does it reproduce?
We're talking about mutations and drifts.
Yeah,
It's only because you're stuck on natural selection, and that's how you're framing it. You're choosing to frame it as natural
operate outside of purview of natural selection. They can't. These things are being selected or not selected for.
It's not impossible. There's plenty of evidence that shows that it actually can.
Okay.
I can send you some studies if you want.
When an entire species gets a mutated gene, which spreads throughout the species without reproduction.
Could you repeat it for me, bro?
Yeah. Can you give me a single example of a mutated gene which spreads throughout an entire species absent reproduction?
Absent reproduction. An entire gene that spreads throughout a species absent reproduction.
Mm-hmm.
How about genes that occur specifically in a population absent reproduction, such as
what?
Such as the lactase gene.
Okay, and could that gene continue absent reproduction?
It could continue absent reproduction by gene mutation.
Yeah, but you're just saying that there could be another mutation which is like this mutation.
What about blue eyes?
So like no matter what, all of this is going to come back. All of this is going to come back to the gene itself, or whatever the mutation is in the gene, cannot continue absent reproduction of the people with those genes. That is natural selection. The idea here is that this gene, whatever the mutation is being selected for because that is what's being reproduced. This is always the center point for the idea of evolution.
I got to give Q the final word on this, and then I got to move it on.
But I mean, it's simply put, if it was natural selection, then it would be classified as natural selection. It's not natural selection. You're just continuing to frame it that way.
Question.
Andrew, I got that.
Real quick. Super quick. If the entirety of the world was nuked tomorrow, we all nuked each other out of existence, okay, with nuclear bombs. Mm-hmm. That is natural selection, correct?
If we all nuked each other?
Yes.
Why would that be classified as natural selection if we chose to nuke each other? What else could it be? Why would that be?
Event?
Because evolution meant that we built nukes and that we evolved towards nuking each other off of planet Earth. That's what was selected for. The genes and everything else that led to us building the nukes and thus nuking each other off of planet Earth, all of that led from evolution, right? We evolved to do this.
That would never happen because evolution is about reproduction and survival, so we wouldn't evolve to nuke each other.
Well, I think that you and I have a big distinction then in what
I'm just
is
waiting
natural
for the
selection.
Venn diagrams to start popping up. Ha ha.
You should look at a book called The Revolutionary Phenotype. It was written by J.F. Gary Eppy, who makes this very argument about nukes. And he states emphatically, there's no possible way that if you were to nuke each other off planet Earth, that those weren't just simply genes which were selected for, which led to that, because that's how evolution would have to work.
Yeah, but send me the book, Andrew. Send me the book.
It's called The Revolutionary Phenotype by J.F. Gary Eppy. I did appreciate the spirited debate. By the way, I have no problem with Q at all.
Absolutely not. I love it. I told you, I love it. That's my bro. Yeah, it's not personal.
That was good. That was great. Thank you guys. Thank you. We have JJ Mad. Thank you for the $200 soup chat. Thank you, man. Cheers, Brian. Repeal Title IX. Literally a layup was on top 10. F women's sports. Isn't Title IX a good thing? Or wait, isn't it? I don't know.
It's women's sports. It's what they implemented so that women could play college sports.
Well, JJ Mad, thank you for the soup chat. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you. He's not a fan of women's sports, apparently. By the way, TTS has been lowered to $69 if you guys want to get a TTS in. Now, I'm going to try to get through all the notes here. So, going to Maddie. You said you have tons of dating stories. One guy's mom walked in on us during his first time ever. What was the story there?
That's basically the story. That's basically the story. So his mom, oh God, I can't believe I'm talking about this. His mom.
Can't believe it.
No, I genuinely can't. His mom walked in on his first time ever, and she opened the door and she goes, "Good night, guys," and we both look over at her. Our faces just drop. Her face drops and she slams the door.
So wait, she's seeing y'all?
Yeah.
Damn.
Awkward. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What position?
Cowgirl.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You seem like the type.
Oh.
What would be the?
Whatever that means.
I'm just thinking, what's the more embarrassing position for the guy, for your mom to walk in on?
Standing up in the shower.
The wheelbarrow.
It happened to me.
You got walked in standing up in the shower?
Yeah.
Walked on. Yeah.
I think it'd be more embarrassing if it was missionary.
Why?
I don't know, because he's kind of just chilling if she's on top, right?
Embarrassing?
Oh, well, I mean, really the most embarrassing would be, what's that position where it's Amazon? You know what I'm
Atlas
talking
All
about?
Resources donated $69. Another example of excellent mothering.
Yo, thank you, Atlas, for the TTS. Really appreciate it. Okay. You said you dated someone for 3 years while cheating and lies to cover it up. He got someone pregnant while with me. Whoa, double Andrew. Andrew, wait. Put it back. Wait, double Andrew again? Okay, Andrew, go. Debate yourself. All right, Andrew, debate yourself. Go.
All right. Well, there's positive and negative arguments, Andrew. Don't you agree that there's positive and negative arguments for evolution? Why, yes, Andrew, I do. Well, what's one? Well, natural selection.
Wait, we can fix this.
Andrew, based around specifically the idea of reproduction.
Wait, can you?
Well, that's not true because of epigenetics.
Austin, click on the.
What about epigenetics?
Click on the top one. Yeah, click on no.
Yeah, you got to switch them. So
no. Scroll down. No. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, the bottom one.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, click. No. Here, move them out. No. Just stay there. Okay, right click. Okay, go to transform.
Inverted.
Transform. And then you're gonna do flip horizontal.
Vertical.
Or flip vertical. My bad. No, I was right. Who fucking Alex, bro? Wait, Control Z, or flip vertical again, I guess. Okay, now flip horizontal. Oh wait, no, we gotta do it to the other side.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, that. All right, there we go.
Okay.
All right, Andrew, debate yourself.
Andrew versus. Okay, now Brian, will you moderate in case I get way too far out of line here?
I will moderate.
Okay. So the theory of evolution is based around the idea of natural selection. Natural selection is all-encompassing. No, you're wrong. You fucking idiot. Here's your biggest problem is that you forget about epigenetics and you forget about mutations in the gene pool. Incorrect, Andrew. The truth of the matter is that even these mutations in the gene pool could never continue, including blue eyes, which is what one of the ladies brought up, unless those recessive genes were able to reproduce. Andrew, that's incorrect. You can have recessive genes which continue into infinity without any sort of reproduction whatsoever. No, that's incorrect. Just look at germ theory, you fucking idiot. Is that good for you?
That was beautiful.
That was excellent.
Control Z.
Excellent.
Do Control Z.
That was excellent.
There we go. All right. That was beautiful. Okay. Oh,
who won?
What? Andrew on the left. Definitely won. He definitely won.
I thought he was he had the better angle.
By the way, TTS is $69 if you guys want to get one in. Okay.
Someone in my chat said W. Andrew, L. Andrew.
W. Andrew, L. Andrew, yeah. So you dated someone for 3 years while cheating and lies.
Oh, no, I wasn't cheating and lying.
Hold on.
Radius donated $69. I want to see 2 Andrews eat 2 burritos.
I think what we have to do, though, is we have to hide one because we see you talking in both, even if it's mirrored. We need to hide one and then put the other one on when the other's talking and kind of like swap back and forth. But let's see. So he got someone.
Somebody said Andrew W., by the way.
Andrew W. He got someone pregnant while with me and now smokes an insane amount of weed to cope. Mind you, I was 14 and he was 18 when we started dating.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes,
okay.
Yeah. So that was a crazy time in my life, for sure. That was my first boyfriend pretty much ever. We were completely infatuated with each other. What I didn't know is that he was cheating on me literally the entire time.
Damn.
Entire time. With girls that were in our friend group, girls that he called ugly, girls that had previously hooked up with any of his friends. It was bad. And he didn't tell me, like, hey, like, I need to sit down and have this conversation with you. Like, I've been fucking up. I got like 4 hey girly texts.
Damn.
It was
Damn, that's
it was
crazy.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.